Ayo, what's outside is within. The mind regulates the hand that masters the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the tongue is mightier still. The stargate to the mind's revealed. The vortex.
Okay, peace. Big CYC in the spot. And we got a special guest today with us. Family, could you tell the people your name, who you be?
Yeah, peace to the kings and the queens out there. My name be Herbal T. Herbal T. Some people know me, but Herbal T The God, reigning now for the last year to reinvent certain things, you get me? But yeah, Herbal T The God. That's who I'm at right now, and it's an honor to be with Cyclonious here to spit the real.
Alright, so I got some questions for you, yeah? And I noticed you've just dropped a new album, or it's recent, and it's called Black Gold Velvet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to get some insight into that album and the creativity for it. So my first question to you is, what inspired the title Black Gold Velvet, and how does it reflect the themes explored in the album?
Alright, so I'm gonna be real with this now. So the hip hop is like, this is like some new age renaissance, black age. I call this hip hop thing like the new age renaissance, black renaissance, right? Now, even the artwork on that, I'll cut short. It was inspired by one of my friend's piece. He does art canvases, right? And he used to rap with me, whatnot, but he does art now. So that stood out to me, and that was what the piece was called, Black Gold Velvet. Now that resonated to me, like the way the art form, the artwork is, and the title. So for me, when I heard that, I just heard black as in black power. Like, I'm not no racist, I'm talking about knowing myself, like and loving myself. Black, the gold is the richness, do you know? It's the richness of like the work and the vibes I'm coming with. And the velvet was like my flows, you get me? Smooth, elegant, smooth flows, you know? So as soon as I saw that, I said, yo brother, I wanna make music to this. I wanna put some sound to this, because that art there is dope. So it was just extending onto his art.
Okay.
That's what inspired this though.
That's dope, man. I like that. And yeah, man, that gives a nice real insight to where it's coming from. So art meets art, basically.
Art meets art, brother, you get me? So like, yeah, and I try and use that technique now, because like I said, I see this age as a renaissance thing, you know, with the people, with artists, the way they're presenting their work now as well, because it's not just about the vibe, what you're saying, it's like how you're presenting it.
Right.
You get me? And I've seen that a lot going on in the hip hop industry right now, like for the last couple years. So it's almost like a renaissance. So
I hear you.
That's it, man.
All right. Can you walk us through your creative process while you was producing Black Gold Velvet, and how did you approach songwriting and the production?
Okay, so in terms of the beats, it's weird because I had the artwork on the wall, the canvas, and I saw the art, and I was trying to put music to the artwork. I know it sounds a bit mad, but like colors can relate to sounds and stuff like that. So on that vibe of making the beats, I was looking at the artwork and saying, yo, mate, slam that beat out, and I'm like, does that think that can fit on this project? And I'm like, yeah, that sound like it can fit. So when I laid the beat down now, from that, it's just naturally occurring, like the words just start to come to me. So it was just like a natural process of that. I made all my I made all the beats on there as well. Doing a lot of sampling as well, going some old school samples as well. Like, this is the process I was trying to have this. Do you know what? Originally, the first sounds I had is like, I was gonna try go for like, you know, like the black exploitation films, like them old school films. You get me?
Yeah.
I wanted to try and go for that, but then I was like, nah, I don't want it to sound too much like Rock Marciano type stuff. Do you get me? So it was like based off of that. But yeah, bro, I just laid down the beats. you know, using different methods, different, like, so I used SP44, I've used like to Fruity Loops, anything that I can capture the sound on and put it down, and it just flowed. I don't know, I was just in a different vibe, an artistic vibe, and as soon as I made the beat, I just set the bars, track one done, and again I had beats lined up, jumped on it again, set that, and then it's like couple beats I heard other people on that as well. So yeah, so in the process of that, I'm like, oh, I feel like I can hear this person on that, and then I shouted them, showed them the concept as well, and they kind of jumped on it as well. So yeah.
So, like track highlights, as we're talking about the music and stuff from the album, are there any specific tracks on the album that stand out to you, and what makes them particularly significant?
Okay, so on this album here, I would say Ultimate Warriors is a track with, featuring a rapper called Joe Spesh. I mean, like, it's one of my elders who I came into the game with, so that there is like more significant for me, because it was like he wasn't rapping for ages, and it's like I've got enough rating for him, innit? He's a sick MC. So the fact that my man, like, I played him the tune and he said, yo, he's gonna come forward and set it, and I heard him on it, it's like, yeah, that's the one. And basically it's like Ultimate Warriors, I'm talking about. So I start off the bar talking about our ancestors, they wore gold helmets, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first word I said, you get me? So the whole thing is basically showing, man, about how ultimate we are as blacks, and we're warriors, but at the same time being witty in the bars, you know. And then yeah, there's another track, Sarafina, about my empress, you know. Don't want to give that away too much, just listen to that, but that one is like a deep one there, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, them two tracks. But I think all of them, to be honest with you, like they all had a meaning, as you know, as an artist, you get me. Each track you resonate as a meaning to you. But yeah, those two tracks, Ultimate Warrior and Sarafina.
Dopeness.
You know.
Did you collaborate with any other artists or producers on Black Gold Velvet? And how did those collaborations influence the sound of the album?
Okay, so I didn't really like collab with too many artists on there. This one, my project before I did, but like this one, like I said, I had Joe Spesh, who was one of my elders from who brought me into the game, but basically showed man technique, mic techniques and that. So that was one, and then another brother called The God Jeezy, and he's like, to be honest with you, he's like one of my good brethren who's been around the music thing. He helped set up my studio from 2007, them times, so he's always been around. He produces now and again, but it's like now he's like, you know what, he wanted to try and express himself on some music, you get me, and he's knowledgeable as well, so I said, you know what, let me give brother a space. And he's not even on the rap thing like that, but it was like, let me give him a space to just like vent himself, do you get me? So I've got that one, and then I've got a collaborative track with a producer called P Stepper. He made the beat, it's called Ja Bless, and it's just about like just showing man how blessed man is and uplifting people, you get me? But yeah, this project I didn't really go in so much with the features and even like the beat features and that. It was more predominantly produced by me, and like literally Anyway the God, Anyway the God, he was on that. I almost forgot that track because Spotify tried to do this, well, they did a mad thing with it and they didn't let that track go on there, you know what I'm saying? But I still pressed out the thing, and it's on my Bandcamp and whatnot. But there's a track on there called Gold Canvas featuring Anyway the God. That was a dope track, and with that it was more like I had a vision in my head, like metaphorically, this is your golden canvas, you have your golden pen, write your thing down, you know what I'm saying? So that was literally it. We're just going poetically on that track still, you know.
Dopeness, man. What would you say your key messages or emotions that you hope your listeners like they take away from Black Gold Velvet?
Okay, so from Black Gold Velvet, I think I want the listeners to try like take in like the production, the message in it. I wouldn't just say just from Black Gold Velvet. I just feel all my music. I think the message is like I spit like parts of positive gems, like to uplift people in it. So that's like the main fundamental message, like upliftment. So telling like the youth as well to stay on the right track. There's things in it where I've almost like repeated that, you know. Also exposing certain injustice things from the government as well. Like I've repeated that many times on the track. So my main awareness is listen to the album, take it in, and try and take some of the gems what man's put in and apply it to life. Do you know? And kind of use it as like a guide, innit? Do you get me? So that's what like kind of I grow around Rasta and in the Rasta element. So with things with Rasta and the music, there's always has to have a message in it. Do you get me? So you might have certain Rasta, like yeah, you might hear them chat about gun or whatever, but 80% that's just a reflection of the environment. But majority of the music has a message to uplift people in it. So yeah, I just hope so that people can listen to Black Gold Velvet, take it. It's very intricate with bars and that, but the message is about black people and upliftment and you get me, just knowing yourself as well, you get me. And like I said, when I keep saying black people, no racist thing, it's just more knowing yourself, you get me, car I'm cosmopolitan, love for everybody, you get me, and everybody must take in the album as self, you get me, and just take in parts of that album to uplift themselves, you get me. Yeah.
How does this album reflect your personal journey or experiences, and are there specific stories or events that inspired certain tracks?
Okay, so there's like a track on there called Life of a CEO. Now that there I could say is like one of the tracks on there that can say relate to man's life to a point of, because I've got business in that as well, so it's like adding the life of what I've been doing for my business and the rap as well. So I think with this, Life of a CEO would be a big one for me. And like I said again, Sarafina, the track Sarafina, obviously go into it, listen to it, but that is like a life-changing type track, do you get me? But yeah, Eyes of a CEO I'd say, because it just, from my journey from like what 2018 to now, I can say that is kind of like just live nice, and I'm trying to live nice like everybody in this concrete jungle, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. It's like things from my business I've kind of explained in the track and showed certain liberty, you know. So I think with that inspired this album.
Dopeness, brother. So production wise, how would you describe your production style of Black Gold Velvet, and how does it differ from your previous work?
Okay, so I don't think it differs that much from my previous works, yeah, but this one, like I said, I wanted to try and, so it's like woo influenced, like most of my music, but then there was certain rhythms where I took, it was just like loops and it's atmospheric, so it hasn't really got the drum beat, do you get me? So I took two styles of creating, so that's like the 90s style, so there's beats on there with the drum beat, the boom bap, then I've got the loop style, this new, like the new creative way of art, which is digging for loops, finding the right atmospheric loop, and then coming with like some dope gems over the loops. Do you know, I think with this one, if you listen to the album, there's like an equal amount of tunes like that. So there's a equal amount of tunes with the drum beat, and there's an equal amount of tunes with the loops, do you know?
Right.
So I just think I took a old school way and a new school way, but still had that old school vibe, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Combining both territories.
Yeah. You know?
How important were the visual elements, such as your album artwork and music videos, in conveying the message of Black Gold Velvet?
Well, I think the artwork was very important because, like I said, this music wouldn't have formed without that artwork. So just anyone listening to that, take that in first. Like that, the music was created around that art, so that was very important. I haven't really done any visuals just yet, but I'm gonna do two videos off of there. There's a track called Apex, which is more like lyrically being like an apex killer on the track. Do you get me? So that is like a simple kind of track which I could kind of catch visuals to, but the message of that was impacting the bars, like it's heavy, like serious bars, the impact of man rapping it, like I'm going in serious with it. Do you get me? So like that track there, I can say like would push the thing as well.
What does true hip hop mean to you, and how does it manifest in your music?
Okay. So true hip hop. To me, I would say hip hop that has a message, for one, and I can listen. I feel like I'm using my brain when I'm listening to it. Do you get me? So I say like I could be sounding biased, but yeah, I think like the 90s hip hop with a message to the people, and I'm not trying to say just like mad righteous like Common and all them lot. I'm just talking about, because even the hood music had messages to people that was like living in that environment, had no choice to live in that environment. So these rappers were like literally putting guidebooks to man that was living the street life. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's true to me, because I know man's live in London, but there's environments and there's places where violence and that road life was there. So part of me growing up, I was listening to that road rap, but then, like I said, I got Rasta elements, so the consciousness was always there as well. So when I'd hear man like Killer Priest or Common, and that would resonate to me. Do you get me? So yeah, I'd say like the 90s rap. I wouldn't even say 90s. Any rap that's got a message, brother. You get me? That's what I'll say. You know, a good message too. You get me?
How important is authenticity in hip hop, and how do you strive to maintain that in your work?
Well, authenticity is I personally think it's important, but what I can see out there right now is not really, get me, that's what people are not really looking for, that, like the people at the top or whatever you want to say. But to me it's important, because like spitting the real, it like that is so important, because if you're not spitting the real, so much things can happen, like even to you as well as a person. If you're not being real and you're spitting this message that's not real, it can conflict with you, and you can mess up other people's life as well. You get me? So like man need to be real authentic in spreading this message. You get me? And like I said, some of the messages are real. You get me? Like some man's out there chatting about doing stuff that's real in it, but then it's not really sending a good message. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So authenticity is real. I think it's very important nowadays. You get me? But you see a lot of music nowadays where it's not, because you got man doing music videos, renting out mad cars and chicks. They ain't got them things, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're portraying that, and that's what the youth now thinking. Like when they come up, they see these rap videos, that's what they think it's all about, bro.
That's right.
Like the rap is about getting gal them and getting the big cars, and even that's not, you're renting it for the day. So
It's mad, innit?
yeah, blood. So it's like you're being real for the day, and then it goes back by the end of the day. You go back to your real life. So that what they've pictured, it's not authentic. So to me, and what I do, I keep it 100. So anything you hear me rapping about, that's 100s. You know, there's no, I don't leave no space to lie. And even like this, like, cause when man used to rap bare street rap and that, like, even that, bruv, trust me, man will come and test you. Then now man's got to set it now, you know what I'm saying? And then like when man set it now, you're getting yourself in all kinds of madness, because now you got to keep up the word, blood, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, fam. So for me, just keep it real, spit the message, and like militant same way, but it's like, it's not all about that, you get me? It's like, yeah, it's like authenticity, spit the message and uplift people, but same way, don't come try to disrespect, you get me? You know them ones there? Like manners. Yeah.
In a rapidly changing music industry, how do you resist trends that don't align with your definition of hip hop?
How do I resist the trends? Bro, to be fair, you know, I was never a sheep kind of like head, innit? If that's what you mean, like, how do I resist following things, yeah?
Basically,
like,
yeah.
So I was never in that sheep mode still. Do you get me? And the FOMO thing, the fear of missing out, I'm like, yeah, all of them things is put to the side for me. So when I see it, I'll see this new trend, whether it might be wearing a dress or whatever, blood. I'll see it, take it in, and be like, that's not for me. I ain't doing that to bust. But even before these trends thing come in, and I always used to say, bro, how come you ain't signed yet? Yo, man, them should be signed now, and you get me, red tear. And I was always kind of like, man would say, yeah, you watch too much of them conspiracy things and whatnot. But I'd be like, look, to get to a certain point, you gotta be doing things, blood. You gotta, so you get me, you gotta sow your soul, you gotta do things you don't wanna do. This is what I've been hearing. So I'm like, I was never trying to get past a certain certain stage. So all these trends that will take you past a certain thing, I was never like, I do my own trend, which is what I'd say is natural, but anything that was outside of that realm, I'm like, nah, naturally, like, yeah, I ain't doing that, you get me? And I think that's probably, you know, enough people would say, "Raw, how come you ain't made it yet?" And I guess probably that's what it is, because I'll give you an example. One time, was on a film, gone to a little interview like this back in the day, but was on a proper set, and the woman's come to put makeup on me, bro. I'm like, nah. You get me? You get me, bro? And they're like, what? Like, now you got, and I'm like, nah, blood. Like, you look, I got cocoa butter on cocoa butter. That's good enough. You understand? And they had to run that king, and I didn't see it. You get me? So man is saying like, yeah, bro. So I just stay in my lane, king, for that question, fam. You get me? I mean, if it's if I know it's gonna better man as well, I might try a thing, you get me? And it's not really like slaying man's character, then yeah. But I see a lot of these trends now, it's madness, you get me?
Do you know what's interesting what you just said there? And I find a lot, when people say, how comes you ain't made it yet, you should be signed and all that stuff. So most people associate hip hop, yeah, with material wealth, basically.
Yeah.
And they're not looking at it as an art form, like you're an artist.
Yeah.
So you already made it, to me, in my sense. When you're
Of
pushing
course.
out an album and it's ready there in a
it's
physical
there.
form, boom, you're an
Yeah.
artist. But no, they for some reason, I find that they always have it like you've got to be, like you said, they're having the big cars, Pier Gal and all that. Like hip hop's just a one-trick pony when there's many different channels. Yeah, I just never understood that. But how do you believe hip hop, the culture, has evolved over the years, and what role do you think that you play in that evolution?
Okay, so hip hop has it's evolved big time, I think now. Like it has evolved, which is a good thing, you know, because a lot of people are listening to rap now, which when back in the day, not everyone was listening to rap, and a lot of UK rap or grime artists, they've kind of bust as well. and living that life we were just talking about. So yeah, to see that scene in the UK that is there, it has evolved, which is good. And the role what I've played, like I think I've just kept it thorough. You get me? I've just kept putting out the same, like my type of like boom bap, because that's always been there. So for that boom bap era of rap from the 90s, I say I've kind of just stayed in injecting music into that scene, just like everybody else that's in there, that they've kept it alive. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and I think even now the underground scene, I wouldn't even call it underground because it's big, but the underground scene is large, and there's people that will want to listen to that. And some people have actually, I've heard the term chilled hip hop for the type of music, the lyrical music, yeah. Then I've heard fast food hip hop, fast food rap, where it's all that trappy stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Like jump up, which the song might last quick, like, and then you put it down, you know. So you got many aspects of rap now, which is good. It's evolved into bare different things, nerd rap, whatever. Like there's all these things. But yeah, I just think with me on the boom bap section of rap, man just kept plugging in on that and kept that alive, with many other artists that's doing that as well in the UK and rap and US. But I think in the US now, the boom bap is it's more, especially in New York, that scene's blown up. The boom bap rap with all like the Griselda man them and all the other man them, the Alchemist man them, like even certain man from the 90s, like, you get me, and they ain't really stopped doing what they're doing. They're still doing what they're doing, but it's just come round. It's come back more around again. So yeah, I think the hip hop game has evolved. It's evolved big time, and it's good. You get me? But again, I just think certain musics can't die still, like reggae. You get me? So I think that 90s hip hop will always be there. You get me? Like that boom bap hip hop will always be there. And then above that, things might change and twist and turn around with like grime and, you know what I'm saying, dubstep, whatever. But the fundamental will always be there. Hip hop, 90s.
The current climate of hip hop music, and what excites you and what concerns you.
Okay, excitement and concerns of the current climate. So the current climate, my concerns at the moment, realistically, is all this like, so the concern, like, alright, so they're trying to drown rap now, and the hip hop industry with this whole Diddy thing, you get me, as well. I'm not like because obviously that was fucked, innit? But I'm just saying, like, that there, it don't look good for the industry now. And even people now kind of thinking like, raw, what if they want to even be doing music now? Do you get me? So that's my concern of that, of what's going on, could like kill the industry. People might not even want to start creating music again, because they think that's what's gonna happen down the line. You get me? Where it's not, like, you get me, this is the youths coming up seeing that, bro. So if they're thinking like, raw, we're gonna make music, but some black man's gonna come and trouble us at the end of the day. Yeah, that's a concern. And yeah, the excitement thing, and how I see it going with current climate, I could say positivity wise is that more people are listening to like the rap music that's coming out of UK as well. So a lot of the UK artists, like, people will listen to it, you know, and all types of people as well. I'm gonna shun it and be like, oh, it's just rap, like, do you know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to that. Yeah, they'll think about, like, I just think the current, like, with the current climate and of the rap, I just think, so, like, yeah, people are making a lot of music right now, and releasing a lot of music, you get me? So yeah, it's growing, and it's gonna keep growing, you get me? And I just want to keep doing what I'm doing in that space as well. But one thing I can say as well, a lot of music is getting created. So that being said, it's not like back in the day where you could probably release one thing and be like, yeah, that would be good for 6 months, because in all reality, after a week or two, someone's listening to something else. Do you know what I'm saying? From another artist, man. So I could just say, yeah, just plug as much as you can in it. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I've seen.
Are there any emerging artists in the hip hop scene that you feel are pushing boundaries or redefining the genre?
Emerging. Do you know what? I haven't got no one in my head as to say like turning the genre still, but nah. Do you know what, brother? I can't even say there's not anyone new that's out there. Like, I mean, there's heads out there that actually like roam streets, for instance. You get me? Them man, they're bringing like they're doing this old school essence, but kind of killing it still. But he's been known. But like I'm saying, with them man there, like they and West Side Gun, the God for him, all of these brothers, they're like bringing they're just dumping so much new music, but it's got that old essence to it still. You get me? So I think with those guys, like I said, they've been doing their thing for a while. But for me personally, I think they're making a change, a big change to the hip hop. They brought back the old style in the new era. You get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, just like those cats. But I don't know any like brand new. There's a brother called Gritfall who caught my eye. He's a young artist, but he's like got that 90s boom bap kind of vibes as well. You get me? Like, so there is a few cats out there like that, but I haven't really got like a list of people that I got my eye on to say yeah. You know?
How do you think the relationship between artists and audiences has changed in today's digital age?
Oh, it's changed dramatically because like back in the day, with the relationship between artists and the audience, you had a bag of people in between, like A&Rs, managers, and then on top of that you got perceptions of these A&Rs and managers, what they think you should be doing and stuff like that. So it's changed in a good way that I can go directly to the artist myself using various platforms. Do you get me? So I think like that's a good thing because it's cut out a lot of the middleman thing. Not to say that the middleman thing, it's good to have a manager or something sometimes, isn't it? But just you can do everything from your yard now. You don't have to wait a week or 2 weeks. You get me? To this person to listen to your album and then be like, oh, change this, or even just write out the whole, like back in the day we had to be like writing out the lyrics of the album and then they will go through the lyrics and they're like, oh, do you get me? Start questioning about what you've written and stuff. So all of that's blocked out. So I know like with Spotify and that, and you get me, you still got to go through a few hoops with TuneCore and DistroKid. They will still want you to go through little hoops and that. But there's places like Bandcamp where there ain't. You just put your thing up, they take a little cut, and there's no one to answer to. You get me? You just put your music out, long as you got your marketing in place and can build your own cult following, then that they'll come buy directly to you and go straight to your PayPal. So it's big, man. The game has changed to a great advantage now, I think, you know. And back in the day, just giving more people opportunity, which is good.
That's right. I agree. How do you see hip hop addressing social and political issues in the current climate? What responsibility do you think that artists have in this regard? Okay,
so I'm just gonna give you a quick example. That Too Badder guy, the Too Badder rapper, sick rapper. Like with him, he touches on a lot of current climates. You get me? And it hits. But I don't think there's enough rappers like that. You get me? And I think if there was, then a lot of things could get addressed or changed. You get me? Or start, because music's a powerful thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So imagine one of his tunes was like a hit single playing on the radio every day. You know what I'm saying? which was about a change. People will change. People will start changing, so even subconsciously. Do you get me? So in that sense, I see too bad at doing it here. And obviously in America, they've had beer rappers that have been pushing their rap behind social injustice. Do you get me? Adjustments. I mean, even Wu-Tang, their thing based off the 5% movement, which is like based off of the oppression what was going on. Do you get me? So yeah, but like I said, it's like too bad. Man like yourself as well, everyone that's on a conscious thing, brother, is making like a change to like social things, what's going on in the current climate, which is wrong in it. You know? So but yeah, that too bad a guy, too bad a rapper, brother. Like yeah, he goes in on the politics situation.
What can your fans expect from you in the future? Are there any up-and-coming projects or collaborations in the works?
Okay, yeah, man. So for my fans from me, for in the future, from me, can expect more work, more shows, yeah, and more visuals. I think last year I dropped a good few projects on that, on like via the platforms and stuff like that. But I think more visuals, more shows, 100%. That's what my fans can expect, my listeners can expect, and more merch. Like I said, I've just gone into this. I've done. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't printed up merch for a while, a long while, probably like 2013. You get me? But for the Black Gold Velvet, man's bust up some CDs, with a little vinyl thing. Vinyl design, but it's CD. You get me? But you can catch these and that for me or for my Insta, £10 a pop, and that. But again, it's not even about the P. This is just art. So it's something you can hold tangible and say, yo, this is the tangible art from the music. So you're gonna get a lot more of this stuff. You get me? And yeah, I got a project with Joe Spesh called The Blackamoors. As little 5-track EP, which should be like a little lesson thing as well, because we were talking about the Blackamoors and that lived in Tudor England, Tudor Europe, which was not talked about we learned about Tudor in the schools of England, and there were no picture, no black man, no mention, but there's facts with that. So we're gonna highlight some of them facts on that album. So we got the Blackamoor EP, me and Joe Spesh. That's one I'm looking forward to. And I've got one that's going to drop before that, which is done already, called Raw Art. That's it. You get me? You know?
Dopeness. What legacy do you hope to leave in the hip-hop community, particularly with Black Gold Velvet?
What legacy?
Yeah, what legacy? What do you want to leave behind or give to the legacy of hip-hop?
I just hope that this album can like last for many years, like 20 years. Like I said, it's you got physicals to it as well. And yeah, bruv, I just wanted to anyone who picks it up, even if it's like 10 years time from now, 15 years time, can pick it up and hear some of them uplifting messages or gems I've put in, and still basically associate it to the time, the life, or the modern times, what they're living in. So I just hope that the thing can spread a message for eternity, innit? That's the legacy for Black Gold Velvet. And to be fair with most of my music, brother, you get me? Just like spreading an eternal message, brother, even when I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If there's still audio players and that and whatnot, yeah, brother, that's it. You know?
What advice would you give to an aspiring hip-hop artist looking to carve their own paths in the industry?
I'd say like be mega focused in it. Like stay focused, have a plan, yeah, and don't let other people's experiences or stuff kind of throw you off, because you might get a guy, don't go down that road, or don't do that, I don't think you should press up these, or I'll tell you, because this, like, once you got your plan and you feel it in your heart, like, just keep pushing in it, and keep dropping and practice in it. Like, the more you drop and the more work you put out, the more better it's gonna become. Do you get me? And in this day and age now, where everything is such mass product and quick, just release as much as you can, but with a message too. You get me? Because, like, again, you can do the fast food rap where you pick it up and throw it out for like the dance around the club, dance around the room, mumbling words and throw that away. Or you can do music which you know is gonna last like a long time. You can listen to it for a week or two, put it down, go back to it next year, thump it again. Do you get me? So yeah, just make like music with like supreme substance, you know. That's my advice. I'm mega focused. You get me?
Dope, bruv. I hear that. And finally, what are your personal goals as an artist moving forward, and how do you envision your evolution in the music scene?
My personal goals as an artist, I would say, like, again, coming off of almost the advice I was giving to the youngsters, innit? It's like staying focused, you know, and having a plan and a strategy, and keep shelling them, you know. That's my main focus, because you see, like, life things can come in and stop the music progression or stop your creative flow, you know. So I would say, like, being focused is the main thing in it. So as long as, like, I keep my staying focused, I can always be creative, you know. So I'd say that's like my main thing, is being focused, having a plan, and just keep like releasing, but at the same time doing it from my heart, not like for no ulterior motive, like trying to bust or get enough money or whatever. Like I said, I'm not doing this thing for P. You get me? I'm doing it for the love of it. I mean, if man donate or woman donate, that's all good. But like I run business on the side, so this is almost like just picture me as an artist, bro, on my easel, in my spare time, doing my thing and putting it up in an art gallery. And who buy it, who look upon it. That's my pattern still, you know, going forward. Because there'll be a lot of changes in life still as well. But as long as you get me, I just keep putting out. I'll stay relevant. You get me?
Dopeness, man. Is there anything, like, lastly, that you would like to give to the viewers, say to the viewers?
Yeah, so I'll just say, well, first of all, I say it's an honour.
Love that.
No king, you get me? It's an honour forwarding, you know. And I'll just say to everybody out there, stay on your grind. You get me? Like, to everyone that's doing their music, stay on your grind. Stay putting out this music, conscious music and that as well, and keep the artwork flowing. Anybody that wants to find me as well, my Instagram is Herbal T The God, you know. Again, got the black gold velvet
Let me just put that
CD
to the screen.
Yeah,
See that.
Yeah, black gold velvet CD. We got that there, and it's on Bandcamp as well. And it's you can just hit me up on my Instagram. I do all postals, or you can find it digitally on Spotify and that. But just Google Herbal T The God sporadically, just to see. You get me? Because I'll always be dropping things throughout. You get me? And videos. But yeah, man. Well, I can say to everyone, peace to the kings and queens out there, man, and stay focused. You get me? It's that, man.
Dopeness, man. Salute, fam.
Don't know,
Love.
king. You're not every time, brother.
Respect.
Every time.
Hey yo, what's outside is within. The mind regulates the hand that masters the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the tongue is mightier still. The stargate to the mind's revealed.